Hello and welcome back to the box office, guys. We are going to continue in this hot streak of exciting fights. We just had George Kambosos pull off a massive upset against Teofimo Lopez. We had Stefan Fulton and Brandon Figueroa go at it for 12 rounds. We just made the video for Tank Davis versus Isaac Cruz. So please, guys, go ahead, give it a like, leave a comment, interact with me as I like interacting with you guys. And now for this video, I have Devin Haney versus JoJo Diaz. An exciting matchup and one that I'm very interested in seeing. One, we have JoJo Diaz, who is signed to Golden Boy Promotions and was a decorated amateur standout. He actually worked out with the US Olympic national team and went to various international tournaments. Now, he didn't necessarily win gold medal, but he had a good amateur career, enough for Golden Boy to say, when you turn pro, you'll be signed with us. That decision that he made actually turned out for the better for his career, as he's now challenging for a title. He's been climbing the ranks and they've managed him well. Devin Haney, on the other hand, another amateur standout, very similar to JoJo Diaz, he decided to take matters into his own hands when going pro, and he managed himself. He didn't get a promoter to help him build his record. Everything and everyone that wanted a fight or when he wanted to make a fight had to go through him. So he managed himself. He built up a nice record. I believe it was like 8-0, 10-0, at a very young age. And now he's in a position where he's in the driver's seat. Being in the driver's seat, he meets JoJo Diaz, which is why I like the both of these fighters, because they both took different routes. And now they are in a collision course to see who is going to keep on moving into stardom. Devin Haney is calling out the likes of Ryan Garcia, who he saw in the amateur program. JoJo Diaz himself has challenged Ryan Garcia, but both of them seeking bigger and better fights have to face each other first to see who comes out on top. Joseph Diaz is 32-1 with one draw as well. He is the plus 425 underdog, meaning you bet $100 and you're going to get $425 in return. 15 of those wins are by the way of KO, may I add. He is 5'6" and he has a 64-inch reach. His last 3 fights have been a unanimous decision over Javier Fortuna, a majority draw versus Rakhimov, and a unanimous decision versus Tevin Farmer that ended up in a win. His one and only loss was against Gary Russell Jr., and we'll talk about that into a little more further detail as the video progresses. And remember, these fights, we get them done early. All we have right now is a plus 425 for JoJo Diaz. I haven't found much on the knockout, distance, decision, money lines yet. As soon as it comes out, I'll put a comment underneath and get you guys informed. As far as Devin Haney goes, the Vegas favorite, he is the minus 575 favorite, meaning you have to bet $575 in order to get 100 if he does pull off the victory. Now, I personally believe that this is going to be a good competitive fight, but styles make fights and the fight will unroll a specific way depending on who executes. Haney is 26-0. 15 of those wins coming by the way of knockout. They have the same amount of knockouts, except Devin Haney has fewer fights to get to those 15 knockouts. He is standing at 5'8", 5 foot 8 inches, and has a 71-inch reach. So one of the things that does stand out is that he does have a significant reach advantage. His last 3 fights have been against Jorge Linares, unanimous decision, Yuri Ortiz Jamboa, unanimous decision, and Alfredo Santiago, another unanimous decision. Devin Haney, the Dream, versus Joseph JoJo Diaz. Keys to victory. And we're going to start off with the Vegas underdog. He's at a plus 425, JoJo Diaz. And step number 1 is going to be make the most out of your opportunities. Show some urgency. Remember Gary Russell. I briefly talked about how his one and only loss was against Gary Russell. There wasn't enough urgency in that bout. There wasn't enough outwork and work being done throughout the fight. It got to a point where in the 12th round, if I'm not mistaken, JoJo Diaz kind of said, okay, this is it. If I don't win this, I lose. He gave it his all, and he was actually very highly effective in that last round, to the point where I think he might have even hurt, or at least changed up the pace for Gary Russell to where he had the best round of the fight. Unfortunately for him, urgency didn't set in early enough in the fight. So JoJo Diaz, for this one, bring your A game from round 1. You're going to need it. Devin Haney is a really good boxer. He's here to win, and so are you, but none of the slow starts that we're accustomed to. Now, key number 2 is going to be walk down and cut off the ring. You are the shorter fighter. And if you're trying to come forward and cut off the ring and throw those punches and bunches that you like throwing, remember, you're a southpaw. You're going to have to cut the ring off, and you're going to have to be the one leading the offense. So keeping this in mind, if you chase this kid, you're going to chase him for 12 rounds, and he's going to pop shot you all day long. Make sure that you cut the ring off, and you just press that constant pressure on him, because something that you're good at is pressing the action and being in front of your opponent and having them be in a ready position the whole time. Don't let him relax in there. Walk him down and cut the ring off so that you can effectively start landing your punches and getting yours off first. You do that, and you're going to put yourself in a better position to start landing your punches, to start throwing your 1s and 2s, your hooks, and you can start attacking the body. Okay, and when you do get there, it's going to be key number 3. It's going to be make it rough and tough on the inside. JoJo Diaz, something that's a little difficult for you is that you are a volume puncher. Okay? That itself is, you're going to have to work to get Devin Haney some work and start making progress and breaking him down. You're going to have to throw punches and bunches, which you're not shy about. You're there to win. You're there to throw punches. You're there to kind of mix it up and exchange. Just how you did with Tevin Farmer, you threw a lot of punches. You're going to have to repeat that, because Devin Haney is going to look to box and use the ring, his ring generalship, his IQ, and his defense to win this fight. What worries me is the sense of urgency and the volume punching. You land enough punches, you make it rough and tough on the inside, and you make them uncomfortable, you can potentially start landing, or your punches will start hurting more and more as the fight goes on. So if he tries a hug, you're going to have to keep punching. If you get on the inside and there's a break, you keep punching. He grabs one hand, you punch with the other. He is on the inside trying to flurry, you're trying to flurry with him. You put your body on him. You don't let him angle out and start using his feet work, and you don't let him use the ring. You really need to focus, show that sense of urgency, be in front of the guy, keep him nice and tense so he's always waiting for something. Walk him down and then land your punches. You're a volume puncher. If that's the one thing about this bout, is that since you are a volume puncher, you need to have that urgency, and you need to be very tactical about it so that you can, to the best of your ability, cut that ring off and make every punch count. When you're a volume puncher, one punch isn't going to change the whole momentum, shift the whole tide, but you need to put the punches and the attack together time after time as the fight goes on, so that you can win these rounds, and hopefully maybe by the 8th, 9th, 10th round, if you've had enough success, those punches then will start doing more damage. He's been hurt before, but at the same time, you're a volume puncher, JoJo. So kind of know what you got, know your strengths, and work with that. Don't try to be out of character so that you're not looking for something that's not even there. Okay, now Devin Haney, on the other hand, let's take a look at the keys of victory for Devin Haney, because JoJo is going to come in and he's a very skilled, and I cannot stress this enough, both of these fighters are very, very skilled. Devin Haney, the minus 575 Vegas favorite, 26-0, 15 KOs, as I mentioned. His keys of victory are going to be a little different. Devin Haney, first and foremost, I want to see you use your feet. All right, because you set your feet work, you use your footwork, you keep him at distance, and it also sets up your offense. If you're in a ready position to always throw a check hook, to always throw a jab, and don't forget to use a very underrated jab to the body as well. You can start landing your punches just because you're dictating the pace and the distance. Remember, you have a 71-inch reach advantage. 71 inches to 64. That means you should land your jab not at will, but it should be at an advantage there. You know how to use it? Use your feet. Using your feet work is always not just going to be for the offensive end. It's going to be for the defensive end. If you're on your toes and you can angle out, you can pivot out, and you're not pulling straight back, when he comes forward and he's trying to cut the ring off, you can kind of shift momentum and get out of the bad angle so that he doesn't corner you up against the ropes. So feet work, and feet work, remember, is a big fundamental in boxing. So don't forget the fundamentals. Use that feet. Use your feet. 2, straight punches. Now, I know that it can be easy to look at JoJo and be like, okay, he opens up and I'm going to catch him with the hook. Yes. Just remember, Devin, the boxer. You're the boxer. You're the better boxer. Throw straight punches. Those straight punches are going to reach its destination faster than his looping right hand, his looping left hand, his overhand punches, and all the punches that if he's trying to lunge in, if you're managing your distance. Those straight punches are going to take a lot of steam off of his. And they're going to take a lot of the momentum that he's trying to build. Straight punches will get there before the looping ones. So don't forget, jab to the head, jab to the body, and then start pop shotting. If you can manage your distance and he's chasing because you have superior footwork, start pop shotting. Completely fine with that. But you got to be very smart about it. And 3, don't fall in love in the inside. And I say this because this is a common mistake that a lot of young fighters do. Just because you're in the inside and you can take a punch and you feel like he can give you 1 or 2 and you can return 1 or 2, don't fall in love inside. That's his fight. That's his style. And that's where he wants the fight to be. He wants to be comfortable in there. Just because you can manage the power, just because you can withhold and stand the punches that are coming and they don't really, maybe he is a volume puncher and the punches don't hurt you as much. He's dictating the pace, meaning he's winning fights, he's building confidence, and the judges are going to look at that and start giving him rounds. Don't fall in love with being on the inside. As I always tell my kids, if you can, just because you can fight on the inside doesn't mean you should. Play to your strength and throw that jab, throw that cross, stay on the outside, manage your distance, check hook, counter coming in, make yourself very, very elusive in this bout. Make it difficult with him trying to get off his attack. Break him down mentally before you break him down physically. And if you do these 3 things, you're going to be en route to winning a victory right here. Proving Vegas right that you were too much for JoJo Diaz and that styles make fights. I believe this is a great matchup stylistically. As for my prediction for this fight, I really love this bout, guys. You guys have no idea how much I love this bout. 2 different routes, one being promoted, the other one was self-managed. Finally meeting at the top of the game, promoted on the zone. Everyone's going to watch. JoJo Diaz, I love the kid, Southern California kid. Devin Haney did things his way. JoJo Diaz, I would sprinkle a little bit more on him if I knew he had a little more power. That's the one concern that I have with JoJo Diaz is if he can hurt Devin Haney. Now, I know Linares was able to hurt him, but Linares is a different type of fighter than JoJo Diaz. Stylistically speaking, JoJo Diaz is going to hit you punches and bunches. Is going to try to kind of shake you up 1 round at a time and then eventually wear you down. As for Devin Haney, I feel like he can get caught once or twice and not necessarily be as hurt as he was with Jorge Linares. Devin Haney possesses the height, the speed, and the reach advantage, which plays into his favor considering JoJo is a volume puncher and he should be aware of his attack, but not necessarily a 1-punch knockout attack. So I'm leaning towards Devin Haney by decision. I don't know what the money line is for decision versus KO or the over-under rounds yet. When those come out, like I mentioned, I'll post a comment under this video to keep you guys informed. But for my pick, it's going to be Devin Haney, just for the simple fact that I have 3 things to look out at. JoJo Diaz, he comes forward, but he also comes forward flat-footed. If he's flat-footed the whole fight, he's going to have a hard time catching Devin Haney. 2, he likes to come in with his hands down. That's inviting the jab and the straight right hand from Devin Haney. And Devin Haney just has that reach advantage. Of course, it's who executes. And if JoJo can make it rough and tough, he'll definitely put himself in a better position, as I always say. But I always go towards a boxer in this type of situation. I think it'll, come to fruition where JoJo will make it very entertaining because these guys are too skilled. I'm rooting for JoJo, hometown kid. But if, again, right now at a minus 575, not a lot of money to be made, but I'm still going to go with Devin Haney. All right, guys. Well, there you have it. That's my prediction. Devin Haney should win. Decision. I will go as far as to say by decision. JoJo Diaz will come to fight, though, and will put up a fight. Remember, don't be surprised if the unthinkable happens because Kambosos already did it. Brendan Figueroa and Stefan Fulton had an amazing fight, and JoJo is looking to do the same thing and pull off an upset. All right, guys. Take care.